We all know about a connection between our diet and our physical health, but oftentimes people fail to see the connection between what and how they eat and the role it can play on how they feel each day and mental health overall. Are you wondering how nutrition and mental health is connected? And what is the best diet for depression or anxiety? Today I am going to discuss this topic. I'm a healthcare psychologist and therapist, and I make videos on psychology and mental health topics. Food is the building blocks of our body and therefore our brain. In many ways, we are what we eat, because healthy food is required for our physical structure of, in particular, the brain tissue and the neurotransmitters which are essential to the function of complex neural systems. There are more than 100 unique neurotransmitters in humans that have been identified. Food is also required for the production of hormones, which are important messengers, both within the brain and between the brain and the body. All these processes simply cannot be seamless without healthy nutrition. Recent research suggests that while nutritional habits, dietary patterns, and diet quality may all impact overall mental health, they may also be risk factors for mental disorders. There is a two-way relationship between nutrition and mental health. On the one hand, dietary choices impact mental health. On the other hand, mental health states potentially affect dietary habits and food choices. Depression or anxiety can greatly shift what, when, and how much someone eats. Some people struggle with overeating, while other people struggle with undereating. If a person is depressed, he or she is less motivated overall to plan, shop, or prepare healthy foods. Feelings of being overwhelmed contribute to an inability to make food decisions. You can probably imagine that people who are not feeling well tend to forget to eat or skip meals, which can lead to overconsumption later. A person can also feel uncomfortable eating in front of others and tend to social isolation, which may reduce enjoyment of food. Besides, people tend to make unhealthy choices also because stress increases cravings for sugar, fat, and salty foods. Lack of sleep can trigger increased eating, while oversleeping can lead to reduced meal frequency and intake. And don't forget, the change of appetite or weight can be side effects of psychoactive drugs. Foods and overall diet quality have the potential to ease symptoms of mental disorders and improve patient outcomes. So what you eat directly influences mental health. More and more personalized nutrition interventions become components of therapeutic strategies for people with chronic mental health issues. Some studies suggest that regular consumption of the Western pattern diet increases the risk of developing symptoms associated with depression and anxiety as well as cognitive decline. Here you can think about refined food or so-called highly processed foods, fried food, high-fat foods, sugary foods, and beverages. The latest research has found that if slim and healthy individuals eat a Western diet for a week, it impacts their brain function, making it difficult for them to control their appetite. Also, it turns out foods such as sweets and snacks become more desirable when a person is already full. As a result, people find it hard to resist overeating. The Western diet results in a decline in learning and memory after a week. The researchers of the study found that eating a high-fat, high-sugar diet, even for just a week, may impact the part of the brain called the hippocampus, which is responsible for emotions, learning, memory, and motivation. In contrast, a so-called anti-inflammatory diet like Mediterranean-style or Japanese-style diet was linked to a lower risk of depression and anxiety. These diets incorporate a variety of vegetables, fruits, berries, legumes, nuts, beans, cereals, grains, seafood, and unsaturated fats, such as olive oil. It usually includes a low intake of meat and dairy foods. While diet changes can be a part of your treatment plan, it is not a substitute for medications and other treatment recommended by your doctor and therapist. But there are things you can consider when you're thinking about nutrition to improve your mental health. The most important thing you can do for your mental health is to structure your eating. If you are struggling with depression or anxiety, it can be very difficult to trust your hunger and appetite signals and make decisions about food. Instead, when life feels overwhelming, eat on a schedule. Eat every 3 to 5 hours. Set a timer or notification on your phone to prompt your meals and snacks. Try to eat with other people in person, even if you do it online. Choosing small meals more often tends to be more manageable than eating larger meals. Your brain needs good food to battle depression or anxiety. Do whatever you need to do to get regular healthy meals and snacks into your body on time. Avoid restrictive dieting or low-carb diets. They can increase anxiety, depression, decrease the ability to focus and concentrate, or can create obsessive food thoughts and patterns, increasing the risk of eating disorders. A restrictive diet hinders your ability to sleep, and getting quality sleep is very important for mental health. So don't deprive your brain of good nutrition. Because your brain and body needs carbohydrates as well as protein, fat, vitamins, and minerals. A balanced meal contains all these components. Your brain runs on carbohydrates as a preferred energy source. So eat grains and starches including bread, wraps, pasta, potato, rice, oatmeal, and other grains. Choose whole grain varieties. These offer the fiber, B, vitamins, and carbohydrate your brain and muscles need for energy. Without enough carbohydrate in your meals, you may feel fatigue and a lack of energy. Second important component of a healthy diet is veggies and fruit. In general, as an adult, you should aim to have veggies as half of your supper. The recommendation is for adults to consume a minimum of 5 portions, totaling about 400 grams of vegetables per day. Our brains are made of around 50% fat, and our cells need fats to maintain their structures. So you need fats to keep your brain healthy, but not all fat is the same. So it's important to focus on eating more beneficial fats and limiting harmful bad fats. The best is to keep a moderate intake of unsaturated fat and omega-3 in your diet. Olive oil, rapeseed oil, and avocado oil, for example, are great. Some researchers think that omega-3 oils found in oily fish may also help with depression. Trans fats are harmful to your body and in particular to your brain function. Small amounts of naturally occurring trans fats can be found in meat and dairy products, but it's artificial trans fats that are considered dangerous. Trans fats are found in processed and packaged foods, such as processed meat, ready meals, or prepacked biscuits. Protein gives you the energy to get up and go and keep going. As well, protein helps you to feel full after the meal, keeping you from getting hungry quickly. Failing to add enough protein to your meal can use blood glucose to rise sharply and then fall. This can lead to cravings. Sources of protein are not only meat and poultry, but also seafood, cheese, yogurt, cottage cheese, tuna, salmon, and eggs. However, eating meat more than 3 times a week is not recommended for our health overall. So look for plant-based sources of protein as well. Prioritizing plant-based foods has many health benefits. The right plant-based foods can be excellent sources of protein and other nutrients, often with fewer calories than animal products. You can think about legumes, tofu, quinoa, nuts, seeds. There are a lot of protein-rich vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, and mushrooms. According to researchers, foods rich in B vitamins may prevent depression and other mental problems. To get more B in your diet, eat more spinach, beans, and fish. Get enough vitamin D by being outside or taking supplements. High blood levels of vitamin D are linked to a lower risk of depression. Minerals such as zinc, magnesium, selenium, copper, and iron are nutrients commonly associated with mental health. And don't forget antioxidants such as vitamin C and E. And if you want something sweet, consider dark chocolate or dried fruits. This is a great substitute for junk food because it's likely to satisfy your craving for something sweet and make you feel good at the same time. Furthermore, dark chocolate contains compounds with anti-inflammatory properties because it is packed with antioxidants. A field of nutrition research is relatively new and promising. The exact mechanisms linking mental health and meal cannot yet fully be explained. This has to do with the retrospective character of many studies. In retrospective studies, persons are sampled and information is collected about their past. It makes it difficult to conclude a real prospective causal relationship, as depressed individuals, for example, might also change their eating habits secondary to their depression. Still, according to large and well-conducted studies, healthy food patterns could be associated with a reduced risk of depression among adults. This association seems to be consistent across countries, cultures, and populations. On the contrary, researchers repeatedly found that people who ate junk food were more likely to show signs of depression and anxiety. In this context, dietary and lifestyle interventions may be an effective prevention and one of the treatment strategies for mental health issues. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, it really helps the channel a lot. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell before you go. Thank you very much for staying with me. See you next time.